Hi, I'm Cherish, and I'm a junior and a state champ gymnast. All right, second at nationals. My best event is balance beam. But it hasn't always been that way. I didn't start gymnastics until 6th grade, which is way older than most people. Some of the coaches didn't want to bother with me because they thought I was too old to learn. But there was this one coach, Coach Maria. She spent so much time with me. Coach Maria didn't just focus on what I was doing, she believed in what I could do. What I learned from that is everyone has potential to be different than what they are right now. You can't really imagine what someone can do unless you really get to know them and see their potential. Coach Maria didn't just teach me gymnastics, she made it personal.
How did you meet your best friend? I always love asking this question because it's usually answered one of two ways. An oddly specific story or, I don't really remember. Last week, I ran into an old friend. We used to be pretty close when I was younger. We kind of drifted apart because of the crowd that I chose to hang around with. And then we didn't see each other for maybe 10 or 12 years. We started chatting it up, asking each other what we did for a living. And when I told him I was a pastor, he was shocked. He couldn't believe it. He said, "You're definitely not the same person that I used to be." Maybe you've had experiences similar to this. Maybe you had a friend who used to be into Lil Yachty, but now he's Luke Bryan's #1 fan. Maybe you know a girl who used to be shy in middle school, and now she's super outgoing and knows and talks to everyone. Maybe you know someone who went from being a jerk to being a nice person, or vice versa. Maybe you yourself would admit that you're drastically a different person than you were a couple years ago. If you answer that question with, well, obviously, everyone changes, then congrats, you've gotten it down. On one hand, it's cool that people can become different people. On the other hand, it can kind of be strange. But no matter how you feel about it, this will always be true. People change. People change. We all believe this, except when we don't. Here's what I mean. When it comes to people's bad qualities and traits, we rarely believe that they'll change. It seems impossible. We think things like, my coach is a jerk, has always been a jerk, and will always be a jerk. My sister will always be a mess. She's going to lose things, forget things, and be a general disaster. My dad will never not have a bad temper. The guy at school will never not be a bully. The girl at school will always be a stoner. When it comes to things about other people that we don't like, we don't believe that they can become different people. If we're all being honest, we feel the same way about ourselves. Think about it. Do you have something that you wish you could change about yourself, but don't feel like you can? I'm not talking about your height, eye color, or other parts of your external body. I'm talking about things like maybe it's an addiction or a bad habit you can't get rid of. Maybe it's a situational thing. You have people who really frustrate you and eventually you find yourself blowing up and losing your temper. Maybe it's a label. Maybe there's something that you've done, made a mistake that you carry with you, and you feel like people see you in a certain way and there's no way that you can change that. I mean, if we had a magic button that allowed us to change something about ourselves, we'd all love to make it different, wouldn't we? But unfortunately, no such button exists, at least not on Amazon, because I looked. So sometimes we just feel powerless when it comes to a certain things about ourselves. Not to pour on more bad news, but here's what makes it even worse. There are already things about our circumstances that we can't make different. You can't choose who your parents are or where you live. You don't control how much money your family makes or what assignments your teachers give you. You can't change your age. So when you already have a bunch of other things you can't control, it's hard to feel like you can control the things that you struggle with. If you're anything like me, after a while, you're tempted to give up. We all do it. And by the way, there's a quick and easy way to know that you've given up. You don't even have to think about it. Just ask if you've used these phrases lately about yourself or someone else. It is what it is. That's just who I am. Maybe you say it differently, but the idea is the same. Nothing can really change. And that leads us right back to a guy we've been talking about for a while now, Zacchaeus. For the last month or so, we've been talking about a dude named Zacchaeus. He was a bad guy with a bad reputation. Despite all that Zacchaeus had done, Jesus shocked the crowd and went to Zacchaeus' house. Check this out. Hold on. Think of a huge celebrity, the most famous and awesome one that you know. Now imagine this person came to your school, picked out the bully at your school, and said, let's go hang out. I'll mentor you and spend time with you. You'd be like, what? How's that even possible? That's kind of like what's happening with people in the crowd. They're like, why in the world would Jesus go hang out with that guy? Of course they muttered. It felt crazy. Now imagine being Zacchaeus. You're a tax collector who cheats your own people out of their money and nobody likes you. And I mean nobody. And there's a man, some people call the Messiah, and some people call him the great teacher. He's legit famous, and massive crowds have gathered just to get a glimpse of him, and he chooses you. He doesn't yell at you. He doesn't tell you all the ways you have to change. He knows who you are, but more than that, he sees who you could be. It would be crazy, right? It was. And just look how Zacchaeus responded. It's awesome that Zacchaeus took this step to repay people, but this outward step was really just a reflection of what already took place in his heart. Something happened to Zacchaeus in the moment Jesus spoke to him. That's when it became personal. Jesus saw who Zacchaeus could be, and it helped imagine a different future. When someone believes you can be different than who you are right now, it changes things. When someone believes you can be different than you are right now, it changes things. When someone sees your potential and not just your mistakes, it helps you to believe that you can have a story like Zacchaeus. Think about it. Jesus was God. He walked the earth to give people a picture of what God was like. And Jesus showed us his interaction with Zacchaeus, that we don't have to change in order to be okay with God. No matter what we struggle with, he sees who we can become. Think of it this way. I love that line. Today, salvation has come to this house. That day, radical change came to the life of Zacchaeus. Why? Because Jesus walked right up to him and treated him like he had the potential to be different than what he had always been. That's what Jesus does. He pursues people and offers his help and strength so that they can change. And because of Jesus, anyone can radically change.